Hello, good afternoon, good morning. This is NK from RefineM. We are here for our December webinar. The one is the last one for this year. Welcome to everyone who has joined. So we'll be talking today about what are the options for project managers after they have completed PMP, and this is something which I hear a lot, and also I see this being discussed on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. I go to conferences, people talk about that. So I thought maybe I'll put together a webinar on this topic and discuss with you the options that I see, and there are a lot. There are a lot of options that are available for all the PMPs. So let's get started. So we'll go and do introductions, some expectation setting, and then we'll get into the main topic. And then we'll have a Q&A, but feel free to ask questions if you have questions during the webinar. Okay. So for some of you who are new, this is our monthly webinar that is delivered usually on the first week of first Wednesday of each month. We are doing it this month in the second week because of travel that came up, and I was at US Air Force last week delivering a 2-day agile training for a group of or a team over there. And that was really great. That went really very well. So this webinar, it is designed for you to learn in a very relaxed environment. It is planned during the lunchtime for most of you. For some of you, because of the time difference, it may not be lunchtime, but I would like you to be completely relaxed and participate fully in the webinar. And we do invite topics from you. So if you are looking for some more detail or discussion or education on a particular project management or agile topic, send that topic to us, and we should be able to develop a webinar around the topic. Okay, so one of the methods that we use for communication during this webinar is the chat box. So I would like to know from you, what are your expectations from this webinar, why you have joined this webinar. So if you can type in the chat box, I hope everybody knows how to open the chat box and how to type, but otherwise, if not, then go to the menu and you will find option for the chat. So let's go ahead. Okay, Greg, more about other PMI certifications. Okay, all right. Yeah, we'll talk about those. Yeah, we'll talk about those, the other PMI certifications. Okay. Ed is saying, I have been a PMP, sometime interested in your thoughts about other opportunities. Okay, yeah, sure. We will talk about that too. Path for Scott is asking about path for traditional waterfall towards agile certification. Okay, yeah, we have some conversation around that topic too. Yeah, definitely. Anybody else? Okay, so we'll go with that. Let's move forward. So if you have attended my webinar, you know about me, or if you are new. So I am NK Shrivastava, CEO and Enterprise Agile Coach at RefineM. I have been in the business for 8 years now, almost 8 years. Actually, we'll be completing our 8th years 2 days from now. And This has been a very incredible journey for me and my team. We are able to help many companies and many teams to deliver their projects successfully, transform them to agile. I have been doing coaching with IBM for last 3.5 years, and it has been really wonderful to talk to the teams and organizations and senior executives and help them to get better at delivering projects. And also, what I'm trying to do is to put together all my knowledge and experience in form of products. And you see here a few of them. Essential Gear for Project Managers is a toolkit for project managers so they can get started quickly and ensure that their project is delivered successfully. And there are just 8 things in this toolkit that a project manager has to do to deliver projects successfully. PMP Exam Simulator is a very high quality simulator that can be used by PMP aspirants to prepare for the exam. There are several situation-based questions. The score history is kept, and also there is a knowledge area-wise test. So there are multiple ways that you can prepare for the test. And then agility assessment tool that we developed very recently, it helps you to assess your team's agility or your organization's agility, and see where do you stand, what are the areas you're doing well, what are the areas you need some improvement, and various resources that you can use to improve agility. And then there are several videos on PMP exam prep and agile, and we are also in the process of launching our first agile fundamental self-paced training. So that's going to come up very soon. So Philip, if you can mute everybody, I hear some back noises. And if you're not speaking, please mute yourself. Okay. And then before this, more than 25 years in project management, delivering projects, working with teams and customers and project managers, project management experience. Okay, so what's new at Refine-M? We do, as I was saying, we do webinar on first Wednesday of each month. So our next 2 webinars, we are going to talk about project management and agile trends in January, and that's like a very timely. We want to know what's going on, so you prepare for 2020. And then in February, we'll be talking about Scrum versus Kanban, the 2 methods that are very commonly used, and we will be discussing what are those and which works better where in which situations. So, and this will be delivered through projectmanagement.com. I do it once a quarter, deliver webinar through projectmanagement.com to deliver my thoughts to the wider audience all across the world. Okay, and I just talked about agility assessment and a lot of other things that you see here. So I already covered them. I'm not going to waste your time there again. So now let's talk about the PMP. Let's talk about PMP. So before we go there, how many of you are PMP, or are you a PMP? I cannot see you. So maybe the question is, are you a PMP? And if you can write that you are, and when did you do it? When did you do it? So you can say yes, and the year, if you can write, that would be great. I just want to get an idea. 2008, okay, Ed 2008, Scott 2009, Greg 2010, 2004, 16, 2012. Wow, okay, very good, excellent. So my next question to you is, you have been a PMP for quite some time. Like 2012 is the latest one, that 2016 is the latest one that I saw here, but I saw some 2004, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what do you think are some of the best possible career choices, or you have made that change already? So from a project manager or a senior project manager with PMP, whenever you finished it. So what do you think are the possible career choices in your opinion? How do a project managers grow beyond their current positions? So Scott is talking about program manager and consultant. Okay, yeah, those are definitely the choices. What are other choices? Are there other choices? PMOs, larger projects, product owners, PMO director, instructor. Very good, very good, very good, very good. So I'm going to talk about these all are included in my presentation over here, and I'm going to talk some more. I'm going to talk some more, and also what I'm going to talk about, that for various career choices, what are those roles and how you can move forward. What are the next steps that you need to do to get into that roles or get into that kind of career? I think that will be, I feel that will be very helpful to everyone who is present here. Okay, so so what I have done here is I have come up with some broad choice categories. So there are a number of choices, and also I have seen that if you are a PMP and you earn a PMP, unless there are openings within your organization, you know, it's many times people have found better careers or moving upwards if by moving to other organizations. So I'm not asking you to move from your organization, by no means, but I have seen that in many particularly larger organizations, when people finish PMPs, there is not much change. They gain knowledge. Definitely, they will deliver their projects in a much better way, no doubt about it. But from the career perspective, role perspective, from the compensation perspective, there is not much change. So has anybody seen a significant change after they have done their PMP? Significant change after they have done the PMP. So so far I got Dimitris and Ed and JT or Young, I don't know how to say that name. Scott, no significant change. Yeah. So and what I'm seeing here is not unusual. So don't think that it is just you know, a small group of people and the response is like that. If I go and ask this question, and I normally ask this question when I go and talk in different conferences, there is a very less number of people who say, yeah, there was a significant change and we did the PMP, and then we were able to get into this kind of a role, and we were able to make a good you know, significant progression in our career. So that I have not seen much of that. So and many times people do PMP to get the knowledge, which is great, wonderful. There is no doubt about it. You definitely get some knowledge, you get some language to talk to other project managers, some consistency. So those are definitely benefits, but the role benefit, the compensation benefit, all those normally doesn't come if they stay in the same organization. But if they switch, they may get some of they may seek for better roles, or sometimes project managers try to say, okay, we have done PMP, now what we should do next? Should we do CSM, Certified Scrum Master? Should I do PMIACP? Should I do Program Management, PGMP? What other certification I do so I can you know, advance my career? No. So that's another usual question that comes up, and we the discussion that happens in different forums and different conferences, different groups, is the common thing is it depends, right? It depends. And also, earning more certifications may not necessarily advance your career. So having more certification doesn't guarantee. Having more certification definitely helps you to gain knowledge and apply that knowledge to your work. That happens by gaining certification. That if you get more certification, because you to do a certification, you have to study something, right? So and by studying something, you gain that knowledge, right? But that doesn't necessarily help you advance your career unless you yourself do that, unless you yourself plan for that, unless you yourself see, what are the possibilities and what is my interest and what kind of job or role in the future will help me, or I will enjoy doing it. So those are the kind of things we are going to talk about. So what I have done here is I have created a different level of progression as you go up in your career. So I'm treating a PMP or project manager or senior project manager wherever you are right now. So it's Mana is saying this looks like a Kanban board. It could be, could be. You can use it as a Kanban board. Yeah, yeah. So I'm treating your current role, your current work as a project manager, managing one or multiple projects, as and who has done PMP. Okay, so that's where we are starting from. So that's level one. So now, what's just next after this? So some of you mentioned it could be program or portfolio manager. So you can now become a program manager, where you become kind of managing a larger program with multiple projects tied together with a common objective. You know about that part. What is the definition of a program? Or you can be a portfolio manager. You can be responsible for portfolio of a project. So you're not looking at just one or two projects, but you're looking at multiple projects. Maybe your company is a large company and that does like hundreds of projects, different portfolios, and maybe you become kind of in charge for a portfolio of project, and then you work with the project managers of different projects and help achieve the objectives of that portfolio and make sure that portfolio delivery looks great. So that's a kind of thing you're talking about, and you can utilize your project management PMP, what you learned there. But what may help is to get a PGMP or PFMP. So PGMP is program management certification, and PFMP is portfolio management certification. Both of these certifications are from PMI, and you can find details of those certifications and the PMI.org website, and you can find out that. But as I was saying, that certification is not absolutely necessary to advance your career, but it definitely helps because you gain the knowledge. If you did, let's say, PFMP, you know how the portfolios are managed. So that is a good thing to know. And so that's definitely one choice that that's available for the PMPs. And then you have choice of many people want to get into Agile. PMP is still not so, the PMBOK is still not so much Agile. Recently, they added some Agile topics. They made some changes in the exam outline to have some Agile content, but it's still more like waterfall. They are working on the next version of PMBOK, and there is a lot of expectation from the group that is working on PMBOK 7 is to come up with project management methodologies that take into consideration waterfall and Agile and all other methodologies that are available. So that will be good to see, and I'm looking forward to see that book comes out. And there are ways you can do agile practices within waterfall world. I have been training and coaching and delivering sessions on a 2-day course, what I call as first steps towards agility, implementing agile in waterfall environments. And this course I have been delivering through PMI and PMI seminar world for this is my 3rd year to do that. And every time I deliver it, there's a lot of interest in this training, and a lot of people learn how to take agile practices and implement within waterfall environment, or do something what many people call as hybrid. And that also helps in improving agility of the teams. But if you want to go and try your career or build your career in agile world, then you can start with positions or jobs of a scrum master or product owner. From project manager, moving into scrum master is a little easier than going to product owner, because product owner requires you to have the knowledge of the product, knowledge of the business, and how the product is placed in the market and market conditions. So that's a little different world. But a scrum master is a little easier, where you have to understand a scrum very well, and then apply those to work with teams. So in that case, if you want to get into scrum master or product owner, CSM or CSPO, PSM, PSPO, ACP are the certifications that will help you to get into agile. And this is also very popular. CSM is very popular, and many project managers who want to switch their careers or get into agile world, they do that course. And good news is that there is no prior experience needed for these to do these certifications. So you can take a 2-day class and learn about Scrum, and that 2-day class is pretty sufficient to learn about Scrum and start practicing Scrum and start playing the role of a Scrum master. So it may not be, you may not be a highly experienced Scrum master, because experience means you have to have an experience. But those courses are good enough to get you started in a small team as a Scrum master, and then you can build your skills. So that's another path or another broad choice category to get into agile world, and that is the starting point to get into agile world. Now there is a third one, and somebody said here in the chat about become a trainer and instructor. So this has also become a very good career. This has become a very good career. You can start teaching if you have skills in teaching. If you enjoy teaching, that is an excellent way to get into this kind of a career. And there is a lot of opportunities in this area. There are a lot of training companies who are hire instructors. You can be a freelance instructor, freelance trainer, and to get started on those, you already have a PMP, so you can teach PMP. That's one of the things. You know what a PMP exam looks like, and you can talk to training companies, or if you are associated with a PMI chapter, most of the PMI chapters have a PMP exam prep class that they do maybe once or couple of times in a year, and they always look for volunteers. So you can be a volunteer and you can teach that class. And many times what they do, they normally do volunteers, like it's usually a 5-day training. So they may have a trainer for each day, or they may have trainer for each chapter. They may have trainer for each knowledge area, whatever way they divide. So you can pick up multiple chapters or multiple days or whatever works out. But if you enjoy teaching, then this may be another career for you. And if you want to get into teaching Agile, then of course you need to do some of the certifications to learn Agile. Experience definitely comes handy when you teach. So definitely people look for experiences, people look for case studies, people look for have you done this anywhere kind of thing, or have you seen this happen anywhere? So that's another career. So I see three broad categories. One is program portfolio management, another is Scrum Master, Agile World, third is become a trainer or an instructor. And this instructor could be in PMP world or Agile world, leadership training. There is team building training. There are so many areas that that you can get into, and you can be, and you can get, actually, if you're a freelance trainer, you can earn decent money if you are able to partner with multiple training companies, or sometimes if you can get into a bigger training company like IIL or something like that. They pay decent amount of money to start with, and once you gain some experience, then the good part is that if you work as a freelance trainer or work with a training company, work with them for a couple of a year, get the experience, they then become a freelance trainer or whatever. So there are various possibilities, and the thing is, the core thing is that it's you who is responsible for your own career progression. Nobody is going to come and give it to you in a plate and you take it. So you have to actually work for it. Now second that was second level. So third level, somebody talked about PMO Director. So if you have a PMO, then from program portfolio management, you can get into the PMO Director or VP of project management or manager of PMO or whatever. That basically you are now heading the project management organization in your organization, within your organization. So that's a next level of progression. So you go from PMP to program manager to PMO Director. And now to get into this role, you will need some kind of a leadership or business management or something, like to understand how you run a department, how you run a whole unit, and how you make that unit shine within the organization and help the organization delivering the project, their projects in a predictable manner. So that's, and we'll talk about these little bit in more detail. And then from Scrum Master to, in the Agile world, the possibilities become an Agile transformation coach. So from Scrum Master or product owner, you are working with a team and helping them deliver that product or services that the team is responsible for. Now that's the next level of next level is to go and help team to start their Agile transformation journey, help them to gain Agile maturity. And you can basically you can earn some more certifications, which are next level of certification: CSP, CSC, SAFE, and you can learn about those, learn about how to take a team and transform it. You can start standing up what you call standing up Scrum teams. So not working with just one team, but doing it. And you can be an Agile transformation coach in an organization, or you can be a freelance Agile transformation coach, and you can work with multiple organizations. So that's a kind of a path on the Agile track. Now on the training track, you become a certified trainer. So there is a lot of demand for CSTs and PSTs. CST stand for Certified Scrum Trainer, and it's not very easy to get that certification. You can get CSM, CSPO, PSM, PSPO, ACP with some experience in taking some tests, but CST is pretty long drawn. It takes at least a year or so, or maybe more, to get the certification. But once you get that certification, there's a lot of demand. There are only a few hundred, maybe if I'm not wrong, maybe 250 or 300 CSTs all over the world. So that's a very good career progression from a trainer to a certified trainer, and you can actually double your income. You can double your income going from a trainer to a certified trainer. I from my company, I hire CSTs to deliver my CSM classes, and I know the CSM classes, the custom classes, the organizations are willing to pay a lot of money, much more than, like, if you teach a 2-day agile fundamental class versus a 2-day CSM class. So organizations are willing to pay 2, 3, 4 times money. And so the trainers get quite a bit of money. And I know I do that. So I know from my own experience that these trainers earn a lot of money, and they are very busy. It's not easy to find a CST very easily. So this is a very good career for in the trainer area, in the trainer or instructor area, if you want to advance your career. And with PMP with you, this becomes actually a great thing, because you know how to deliver projects. That becomes, because you can see this is the method to deliver projects, and this is how Agile works, and you can bring in a lot of practical experience from your project management world into your training. And that is very helpful, because people who come for CSM class or Agile class, they are not newcomers. They are not just from college. Most of them are the project managers. Most of them are developers. Most of them are managers. So they have some experience before they come to these classes. So they appreciate project experience a lot. Okay, so this is these 3 are at level 3 going. Mana was saying it's a Kanban board. So yeah, it's a Kanban board, but you don't have to go track in one single lane. You can go and switch lanes too. Okay. Okay. All right. Now going to level 4, one of the things is that you can get into a C-level position, from PMO Director. Mostly this will come from PMO Director, or maybe from Agile Coach, or from any one of these. You can get into C-level executive, particularly from the trainer area. If you're from a certified trainer and a training company hires you, you can be at a C-level, COO or CEO or chief operating officer, chief executive officer, or any chief project officer, chief training officer, or whatever that is. So you can get into C-level executive from here, from level 3. So that's one. And for that, you need to have a very strong leadership experience, and that by the job role, it comes from this position. If you are in a PMO Director role for some time, that gives you a lot of leadership experience. These 2 carriers below may not give you so much of a leadership role, but that is what normally is available to you when you come from that direction. The other option here at level 4 is that you can start your own company. And this can be here, or it can be level 5 after C-level executive. So it could be that way too. So you have now gained a lot of experience, particularly from these two tracks. From these 2 tracks, you can start your own company. You have been working for others, and you can start your own company. How great it will be, not to look for a job, but to provide job to others. That would be wonderful. So, and if you have interest in becoming entrepreneur, then this is great. But if you do not have, if you are not interested in entrepreneurship, or that is not something that you like, then maybe C-level is for you. So just depends upon what is your skill, what is your interest, what you enjoy doing. If you enjoy doing program product for portfolio management, this may be the one. If you enjoy the agile world, this could be your path. If you can enjoy teaching, that will be your path. Or sometimes, if you are here in your company, maybe you're doing many things. So, but to reach here, you have to go through some of this, and the line may not always be straight. It could start from here, it may go here, it may go here, it may go here. So it could be a different roadmap or a different path. But these are the four levels. If you remove PMP level, then the three levels are to go up in your career. And if you are really serious about your career, if your current company doesn't provide you that kind of opportunities, then you have options elsewhere. But if your company provides it, you can discuss these options with them. You can discuss these options with your manager, your boss, that this is what you would like to do. And if there is a possibility, I think most of the managers and most of the companies will give you that opportunity if there are possibilities. And if you want to try that way, you can try that way. But I will say that you are the only one who can advance your career. So think about how you're going to advance, and PMP is not the place where you stop. Okay, so and you can decide which one you want to go, experiment with one, and maybe experiment with other one, or pre-decide that this is something that I like, this is something I enjoy, so I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make a career, and I'm going to move forward. And this could be your kind of a roadmap, a high-level roadmap for you to do this. Now, I will stop here and take a couple of questions before I move forward. If there are any questions. I talked a lot for last maybe 20 minutes or so, and I wanted to show this picture to you, so it's little more guidance to you. Any question you can type in the chat box. Or any comments.
So, quick question on the say the PGMP. Do you have any good resources on trying to get to that level?
So resources will be learning. So you can even if you don't do certification, there are books and resources on PMI website. You can go to PMI store and find those resources. The other resource will be you can network with people in that role and can have a discussion about that. And I will come back to this question about what is more preferred, CSM or PMIACP, does it matter? That's a very good question, and I'll come back to it. So let's go ahead and put your questions there, and I will move forward. I have a few more slides that I want to share with you to talk about this. So what are the next steps? So for each role. So Scrum Master, Product Owner. So the role is to guide Agile project to successful value delivery, facilitate Scrum, remove impediment. That's something that Scrum Masters do, right? And the next step will be master Scrum process, have a very solid understanding of principles and values, get a certification, and start playing the role. So those are some of the next steps. If the very first step, if you see, is to get a solid understanding of Scrum. I think that's what is most important, and then look for a role and start playing that role. And most of these will be like that. Now, Agile Transformation Coach in that level or that category. So what Agile Coach does, they coaches organizations to successfully transform to Agile. They also coach executives, teams. They observe organization and team, help them remove blockers or challenges as they transform, as the teams transform to Agile. So, so it's basically taking a team from wherever they are to a higher level of maturity and transforming the team. And so once again, next step here will be to get a master the agile knowledge and how it is applied in different situations, different organizations, and then pick up the method or methodology that is fit for purpose. That's very important, fit for purpose. So everywhere Scrum doesn't work, everywhere Kanban doesn't work. And that's one of the webinars that we'll be talking in February about. So you need to know what is fit in what environment. Master some coaching techniques. How do you coach? What is different between a Scrum Master and an Agile coach? So it's very different, very different. And of course, some certifications. This deck will be available to you. If you have registered it, it will come to you sometime today or tomorrow. Trainer, you need to train, you need to work with stakeholders, and you assess the progress of students, answer their questions, whatever that is. So in this one, the next step will be you have to first identify the courses that you can teach. So whether it is Agile, it is a PMP, it's a leadership, you may want to develop course material of your own or acquire course material or join a training company, whatever that happens, however you get to that material. Master your public speaking skill, maybe join a Toastmaster club to help you with the public speaking skills. And you may get relevant trainer certification, CST, PST, and all that. And then program portfolio manager, the other part that you saw on the top. So in this case, your role will be to develop or manage a strategic vision and project alignment for your program. Measure and track program and overall portfolio performance going beyond projects, and measure and track project contributions in your portfolio or in program. And so the next step here, if you see that pattern kind of a thing, you start performing that role. Gain some knowledge, keep expanding the envelope by adding more and complex program and portfolios to manage. If you want to get certifications, you get certifications. So you can see how that role is described there and what are the first few steps. So if you say, okay, I want to get into this after my PMP, I want to become a portfolio manager, I want to become a Scrum Master, I want to become a trainer, then what are the next steps that you're going to take? So that I thought putting together this will be very helpful to see what are the next few steps that you want. PMO Director, once you reach to be ready for that, the role will be to build and grow project management capability of your organization. You may develop a standardized process for delivering projects in your organization. You may also develop career path for your project managers. The next step is to master some leadership or business skills. Set vision and roadmap for your PMO and manage your own projects. That is show how the projects are managed. So these are some of the next steps to get into that role and do that role. Join the C-suite, shape the vision of your organization. That's the role. Manage direct reports, oversee budget and other logistics. And there are more. So I'm just talking a few things over here. And what you need to do to get into that role is to continue to develop your organizational culture, leadership, and business skills. All of that, leadership skills, culture development, and business skills. And look for these roles in your current company or other organizations. So if you are already a PMO director and you are not finding a C role in your current organization, if you can get into a C role in your organization, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. But if you are not able to find it, then maybe look for that role elsewhere. Start your own company. Put your skills to test by working for yourself. So this is a big test. Drive your and your company's growth. You have to see both growth, and you can become a mentor for other entrepreneurs after you have successfully run your company for 5, 6, 10 years. So what you need to do is to learn about entrepreneurship, whether it is really what you want. Entrepreneurship is not that everybody wants to do. So if you want to do that, then you learn about that. Decide the core business of your company. What you're going to do. Are you going to create a product, or you are going to sell a service? What you're going to do. Like for my company, when I decided to start my company, I decided I'm going to do, it will be a service company. It will not be a product company. And I'm going to provide project management consulting and training to help teams deliver projects successfully, whatever method they use, waterfall, agile, or a combination, or whatever. So that's what I decided when I started my company, and I have been doing for 8 years. As I was telling you, it has been a very incredible journey. I like it. I like it a lot, and I enjoy it. So that's something very important. And when you are in entrepreneurship, there are a lot of ups and downs. So you have to prepare for those ups and downs, and those happen. It's not a very steady kind of a thing. So you need to be prepared for that, and look for the opportunities if you want to start your company, and decide a time which is right for you to start your company. So those are the roles, little bit more defined. There are various industries or verticals, and I have a couple of slides for these verticals that are very common. There could be others, like for example, healthcare. That could be another vertical. But I'm talking about these four. So if you are in one of these, then if you are in IT digital, you are supporting, developing, and deploying software, including web and mobile apps. So this is something you will be doing as a project person. And what you need to do is you need to have skills and knowledge that is needed to manage, deliver these kind of projects using agile or waterfall or whatever method. So you need to have knowledge about software development, knowledge about hardware, web knowledge, tools, different kind of tools that are used in IT and digital world. So you have to be familiar with the IT and digital world to be successful in IT and digital. Now, a project manager or a scrum master, agile transformation coach, they can work in any industry. They can work in any industry. But many times people prefer that you should have some experience in that particular industry. So if you are already in that industry, great. But if you are going to go to other industry, then you need to learn something before you go. At least you need to have the language that you can talk. So financial project managers need to know about the financials. Need to know different aspect of financials and some of the programs that are there, how those programs run. Construction, very large industry from project management perspective. And you will, if you are project manager in that area, then you will be dealing with foremen, crews, stakeholders, and many more. You may have to estimate tasks for building different parts, knowledge of industry trends, historical costing information. So that's a very different kind of industry than if you'll say IT and digital. Not that you cannot manage project in this environment. So I have done in projects in multiple environments. I have trained organizations in multiple different industries, and it's the project management or agile is not very different. It's same. The principles, practices, and everything is same, but how it is applied is different. And that is what you need to learn, how it is applied in that industry or that environment. So that is what makes it different. For nonprofits, so many healthcare. So healthcare is put here as a nonprofit because many of the hospitals are nonprofit. So putting on this nonprofit, but healthcare are a business organization, and they may be nonprofit from financially, but Otherwise they are a business organization. And many nonprofits work across the national boundaries. They are international projects, and some of the international projects may require a different kind of project certification, like Prince 2, which is very popular in Europe. Um, but if you have done one, you know how to manage the project. You very well know how to manage the project, so you can really do that part. So you getting PMP shows you are skilled and experienced in project management, and you can actually dedicate, and you can be focused, and you are very focused, because passing that exam is not easy. It's a difficult exam. It tests a lot of your skills and attitudes. So getting that not only tells that you have the knowledge, but also tells that you are dedicated, you are skilled, and you are focused. If you want to get things done, you can do it. So that tells a lot of things about a person. And as a certified PM, you can excel in many different roles and fields that we talked about, and you should never stop learning. Never stop learning. So so in conclusion, and I'll have Q&A shortly. In conclusion, there are lots of opportunities, lots and lots of opportunities for skilled and experienced project managers or PMPs. PMI continues to forecast a gap in project manager supply versus demand. There's a huge gap, and it just keeps increasing. And to make a career choice, think about what you want to do, and or what you enjoy doing. I think that's very important. What you enjoy doing, what is not work for you, what is fun for you. So that's something you need to consider to take your career to the next level, and then start building knowledge and relationships. Create a roadmap, like I was showing, the Kanban board kind of a thing. So see what's your roadmap. So from level 1, how much time it will take you to reach to level 2, how much time you will stay in that, and then how much time it will take you to go to the next level. You can expand that Kanban board like thing to multiple columns. Each of the column that I described was maybe split into 2, is to prepare and do the role, prepare, do the role, prepare, do the role, kind of a thing. So you can do that. And the certifications, not all career paths require additional certifications. Having certifications is great, but they are not kind of required. So once you have a PMP, maybe a CSM certification, that allows you to go to multiple areas. You can pick those areas. Managing programs and portfolio, PGMP is good, but not necessary. Once you have PMP, that actually puts you through that. Okay, so more questions. I would like to answer some more questions here that have come in the chat box. What is more preferred? What is more preferred, CSM or PM? Now, does it matter? Yes, it matters. It matters. What do you want to do? I think that is what it matters. Do you want to be a Scrum Master? PMIACP may not be so helpful if you want to get in a role of a Scrum Master. CSM will be significantly much more advantageous if you want to get into that role. But if you want to learn Agile and you want to be part of an Agile team, then ACP is much better, because ACP teaches you not just Scrum. It teaches you all Agile methodologies: Scrum, Kanban, XP, Lean, all methodologies, and you get exposed to all of them. You learn all of them. In CSM, you learn only Scrum. So that it does matter. Yes, it matters based on what is your interest and what is your career choice. That is what matters. Lena asking, is PMIACP similar in structure to PM? It's okay. it is very different than CSM. So PMIACP is very different than CSM. But from PMP perspective, it is similar to PMP, multiple choice. It has 120 questions versus 200 questions of PMP. Very similar structure, but CSM is very different. And CSM, you have to attend a 2-day class to qualify to take the exam. For ACP, you don't have to attend a class, but you need to have about 2 years of experience or so. And CSM is very simple. They have, I believe, about 40 questions or so, or 50. And you can take it online from your sitting in your home. Whereas for ACP, you have to go to a test center. So it's different. It's very different.
Thanks,
Now,
NK. Sorry, NK. Can I have one question then, in addition? Because I was aspiring to take PMIACP, but after my PMP experience, I'm afraid it's going to take, as much effort as PMP. CSM I've done, and it was very easy indeed.
Yes. So CSM is very easy. You are absolutely right. CSM is very easy. ACP is a little more difficult than CSM, but not as PMP.
Okay, so does it actually make any sense to do it? Does it help?
Yeah. So if you have done CSM, then, and if you want to be a Scrum Master, then ACP doesn't make sense to you.
No, it's not. I'm a practicing Scrum Master and project manager, but I'm always aspiring to do this ACP because it's the next level of challenge. I'm thinking, but is it indeed? Is it needed? Is it helping?
What way? You have to see what you want to do. You are a practicing Scrum Master. What do you want to do next?
And maybe knowing more. Maybe knowing more. Maybe having this solid foundation for building up all other types of knowledge around Agile.
So it just depends upon your interest. I will say, for me, the answer is that if you want to do ACP, by all means, go ahead and do it. It provides you exposure to different methods. But for example, you see that the course over here. Okay, I'm not trying to sell this course, but it doesn't. None of these certifications will teach you how to do business requirements for Agile projects. No certification tells you how to do it. How to write good user stories, which are essential for any team. So it just depends upon. Certification is not the only way to learn. You can learn otherwise too. But if you want to do certification, why not? Sure.
Thank you. Thank you.
So does ACP cover several Agile frameworks? Yes, Scott, ACP covers several Agile frameworks. That is true. Is there an overlap between PMP and ACP? No, there is no overlap of PMP and ACP. And actually, you don't have to do PMP to do ACP. You can do ACP without PMP, and you can do PMP without ACP. Is a Scrum Master, in a Scrum Master, which certification is better, CSM, PSM? That is, again, I think all of these are pretty much similar. But if you see the demand and the popularity, then CSM is most popular. CSM is most popular. CSM is most known. I think for PSM or ASM, you don't have to attend a class, but for CSM, you have to attend a class. So there is an investment of 2 days, and there is an investment of about $1,000 as the fee. So it just depends what's your purpose. If your purpose is to gain knowledge and use it in your current role, then it doesn't matter. You can do CSM, you can do PSM. But if you're looking to switch jobs, or if you want to find jobs, you are PMP and you want to get a job in the Agile world, then I will say do CSM, because that is much more popular, that is much more known to people. And if they see, sometimes they write in job description that they want CSM. So if you're looking to switch jobs, if you're looking to find new jobs, then do the certification that is more popular.
Oh, sorry, NK, sorry to interrupt again. I've done both, and I've done CSM only Because CSM you don't have to renew, but PSM you need to renew every 2 years.
Oh, okay, very good. Here you go.
And you need
very
to
good.
pay for it as well.
Yeah. So CSM you have to pay for the class.
No,
So,
no, CSM you don't need to renew. It's just for.
Yeah. But you have to pay initially for the class. You have to attend class. You have to pay for that. Okay. The one question here: would you include DevOps as well with Agile code? Yes. So DevOps is a kind of, you know, I will put it under Agile. So without Agile is probably not so much you know, talked about. DevOps is basically helping Agile teams to move forward. DevOps are the teams or the skills to help Agile teams deliver things faster, particularly to set up the environments, to automate the environments, and those kind of things. So DevOps works very well in conjunction with Agile. If you are not implementing Agile, then DevOps probably is something that you may not be talking about. So for PMs in IT domain, I think if it is not using Agile, then probably you will not see much of DevOps. But if your company is implementing Agile, then yeah, of course, DevOps is very, very important, very critical for the success of Scrum teams, or the teams that are doing development work. DevOps may not be so much critical if your team is doing operational work, if they are not doing development work, if they are doing you know, more of a operational work. But yeah, DevOps is very critical for success of Agile teams. Any other question? We are a couple of minutes over time, but I know this is a very interesting topic, and there are a lot of people who are interested to know. So the recording of this webinar will be available to you in next few days. It will come to you, and I'll be here for maybe another minute if you have any questions. Registration for upcoming courses. So what do you mean by, Dimitri, registration for the upcoming course? This one here. So if you want to do registration for that, you need to, here is a link for that. You can go and register. So for the free courses, which is a free course? I don't know, there are several free courses. The webinars are free. So you go to our website, look for training, and you will find webinars there, and you can register for them. All the trainings, paid or free, are there under the training tab on our website. You can find the website on the website. Wednesday, January 8th. Yes. So for that one, yes, January 8th, there is a webinar on trends. So you can go, yeah, Phillip has put that, the URL in the web, in the chat. So, but most of them, if you go to our website under training, you will find it. And also, since you have joined our database here, you will get notifications for those. All right, so everyone, thanks a lot. Enjoy the holidays, and we'll be back in January. Thank you. Bye-bye.